Salute, people. Shout out to all my new fathers and dads that's still holding it down and standing tall. The grind still continues. And everybody under the sound of my voice, I hope everybody is first and foremost being safe and embracing the blessings that that they currently have. I know I'm trying, indefinitely. So we're gonna jump right on into it. I wanted to speak about in my last vlog. I brought up bringing manhood back, men being men, and I just want to elaborate on that statement and bring an example of that I saw on the internet that kind of bothered me, So when I say men being men, here's an example of that, and I also want to show how it coincides. Manhood coincides with being a father or a dad. It all definitely meshes. Because before you're a father, you are a man, and at least you're supposed to be. We do indulge in adult activity before we're adults, and therefore we get into adult situations when we're not ready for it. So, but we'll get into that at a later time. So at this point, first and foremost, let me say this. I am definitely a New York native, South Jamaica, Queens to be exact. Hence the name, the Prince of Queens. Nobody goes harder. That's not even up for debate. Shout out to the whole Queens, man, South Jamaica, But nonetheless, I saw this video on the train, or the video was based on the train. And this dude was trying to holler at a shorty, right? And so it's early in the morning, and she's like, "Nah, I'm good. Like I'm alright. And dude was persistent. Now, there are a lot of times that females can be real extra with when they shoot you down, right? But this wasn't the case for this particular, or rather in this particular instance. She was very respectful with letting them down, like, no, I got a man, and he's insisting on, like, nah, and so at this point, they're going back and forth a bit, and then they eventually get on the train. And it's not long, it's about maybe, I want to say maybe 2 minutes, and then the train comes. So they on the train, they're across from each other. There's people in between them. She's on one side by the door, because they're both standing up. And so he's yelling back and forth at her like, yo, why you acting like that? And then it gets to the point where he like, man, you a bum bitch. And he's talking like that, and she's like, you know what? This dude you a clown, man. Like, it's early in the morning. I'm telling you, I'm good. And he's steadily trying to tell her about his Instagram and that he's somebody and that he got all this money. And she's like, you got all this money? Why you then do what you got to do? And then he starts to tell her that he fucked mad bitches. And this is how he's speaking now. And she's like, you a clown. And so it gets to that. From that point, he moved from where he was at to her circumference now. And he's like, yo, let me show you my Instagram. Let me show you my Instagram. This is what's popping. Look, take a look. And she's like, I don't want to see it. You're like, get out of here. And he's like, what, bitch? And so she pushes him. And now he's all in her face and spazzing and wailing and acting ridiculous. Mind you, there's mad dudes on the train. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm baffled because, everybody is so tough these days. Everybody's so G'd up. Everybody's so gang related and all of this shit. And I'm like, nobody's going to address this dude. Mind you, they're talking and they have their phones up. Right off the muscle. Let me touch that right there. Real men, when it's a situation that's going down, real men don't pull out their phone. That's not their first go-to. Their go-to is not to pull out their phone to record something. That's first and foremost. I need that to be very clear. And I pray that none of this type of stuff happens in front of me. I truly do, man. You know, but nonetheless. So it's mad dudes on the train, people with their phones out, dudes with their phones out. Nobody's saying nothing for the most part. And so as this is going back and forth, now he's getting disrespectful. He done told her suck his dick, and now he's telling people around him suck his dick. And so other females are like, yo, why you on shorty like that? Like, back up and get out of here. Yo, and he's going off. Excuse me, yo, suck my dick. And he's saying all of this. And mind you, he's mad aggressive now at this point. He's irate. None of these dudes has knocked his happy ass out or nothing, right? And it's throwing me off. I'm like, wow, they just watching this dude, and he's going on a tirade for a minute until he gets off. After what you want, yo, mind your business. You know, there's one dude that did say something, and yo, mind your business, man. Something like this. This is how he's giving it up. Like what you want to do? Mind you, this dude is like, I want to say he's like 125 pounds in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, what's happening here? And it's crazy to me. But nonetheless, nothing happened. He gets off the train, and that's how the situation dies. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, another instance where a man could have stepped up and showed that he was a man, a stand-up man, and at least tried to calm dude down, or try to talk to him to get him in a rational mind. And if not, then do what you got to do. Not here. So when I say men being men, this is what I'm talking about. You understand? Because it's not, this is one of them times where it's a perfect example. Here go a female that stepped up for shorty. We have dropped the ball. Now, I include myself only because I'm a man, not because I've dropped the ball. Excuse me, but we have dropped the ball. And so therefore, these women have had to be so strong. I want to know, when are we going to step up? When? When is when? Why are we doing what women do? If females are picking up the phones to record it, why are we not stepping in? Why are we there when police are beating up our women or children, fathers and men? Why are we there when other men are disrespecting our women? Black or white, it doesn't make a difference. We let's not get into that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we see certain things happen more than others. But at the end of the day, it's still about women, period. You know, or children, period. Why are we there and we not saying nothing? We not doing nothing. But yet, they'll be right there on somebody's live or on somebody's post, making slick comments, talking tough, telling them to pull up and all this kind of nonsense, that whatever the new terms are, that and that they're using, and they're inviting dudes to they man, yeah, you suck my, all that type of, all you on that type of time, but you're not on the type of time to step up for somebody being disrespectful to one of our women in our community. Because that's the crazy part to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very appalled that we've gotten to this point. Now it's to a point where we really got to check each other, and it don't got to be disrespectful. That's another thing. Like, when, you know, if you in my comments or whatever the case be, you know, I have no problem having a conversation with you or anything like that, but or you having conversation with anybody else that's on my page, but be respectful, man. We men. We supposed to be men. Move like a man. Don't start doing that funny stuff. I'm not into that, and I will block you. I'm letting you know right now. So let's I just want to put that out there. Let's not move with all this estrogen and you claiming to be a man. That's a fact. I'm throwing that out there for all. So now, back to subject at hand. We need to, one, start to support one another more. We need to, two, uplift one another more. And when I say uplift one another, I don't mean giving each other titles or names that haven't been earned. You know what I'm saying? They have no merit to this person, because I noticed that a lot of brothers that look like myself are starting to call, or trying to call, one another king. And the problem I have with that is, just because you look like me don't mean you've earned the title of king. You understand? And it's just like, just because I'm a male and you're a male, or I'm a father and you're a father, doesn't mean you've earned the title of dad. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to start getting things misconstrued and just start throwing things around because we're trying to uplift one another, but doing it in a way where we're giving titles and achievement that hasn't been earned. You know, because to achieve a title of dad, to achieve the title of king is major. You know, even just royalty, to walk in royalty, you know. And you know, I understand what we're trying to do, but we're not there yet. We're far from there yet. We got to take baby steps with that royal blood, and basically trying to tear down what was built up by the slave master. You know what I mean? So it's trying to build that confidence, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and I'm all for that. But not everybody deserves that. So let's put a pause on that. And there's nothing wrong with calling another man brother, whether he looks like me or not. Call him brother, man. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And he's earned that regardless, you know. So I'm, at the end of the day, let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about it. I want to hear what y'all got to say about it, you know. And I'm truly looking forward to it, you know. Bringing this thing called manhood back is not going to be easy, because all men aren't going to be on board at first. Then when it's all said and done, all men aren't going to be a part. But the ones that do and will become will be the ones that are supposed to be. And those will be the ones that are strong and that will hold it down for the communities in which they live. And that's what's major. You know, that could have been any one of us fathers and dads. That could have been one of our daughters that this fool is talking to. That could have been one of our any one of our us fathers or dads' son that was losing his mind and being completely out of pocket, not only to the young lady he was talking to and the people on the train, but to himself. You understand? And so we got to get back. We got to do some heavy checking. Let's get to it. We got work to do. And I'm right here with you. I'm not better than you. You know, I'm going to be right there on the front lines. It's time to do some checking. And again, you can check another man without being disrespectful. You got to understand, man, we're talking to men. I'm not talking about boys and males who have who wear their emotions completely on their sleeve. I'm not talking about them, or males who move with a lot of estrogen. I'm not talking about any of them. I'm talking about men. We're men, and we need to start moving as such and conducting ourselves accordingly. Let's get to it, man. I'm just a dad, Prince of Queens, Nakia.